This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, I'd like to call to order the first council meeting of the year, January 5th, 2026. Call to order at 6:30 p.m. Rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to all the visitors, and I'd like to begin by wishing everyone a happy new year. I hope you had a good holiday. And so we'll move right into the meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to the agenda?
The only addition I have, because I neglected to get it on your original agenda, is the Citizen of the Month under Mayor's Report.
Okay. So with that one addition, any other additions or corrections? Okay, so like a motion to accept the agenda as written with the one addition, a Citizen of the Month.
So moved.
So moved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilor Webb. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 None opposed. Motion carried. Well, we'll move right into the mayor's report, and I'll turn it over to Councilor Weller with the Citizen of the Month.
Okay. Well, it gives me great pleasure to recognize a gentleman that I've known for quite a few years, really. Now, Chuck Heath. Chuck, a little bit of background about Chuck. Chuck graduated in Crescent Valley in 1973, and from there, after graduation, he worked in the sawmill for, and I should probably say sawmills, it wasn't just one, for about 24 years. So Chuck knows a little bit about Vernonia, because Vernonia being a timber industry and not too far of a distance, we have several sawmills right around us. Well, then from there, Chuck went to work on a golf course as a superintendent. And you can tell me if I mess up with some of your history, because I don't want to mislead your history. But after that, Chuck moved to Redmond from Corvallis area. And a lot of the sawmills, if I remember right, you told me were in the Philomath areas where Chuck worked in the sawmill. Yeah. So then from after that career, he went to, for 7 years as the superintendent at a golf course in Corvallis. And then after 7 years, Chuck decided to move to Redmond and lived in Redmond, I believe 9 years, and worked at the Walmart for 9 years in Redmond. And then from there, Chuck moved to Vernonia and actually got acquainted with Vernonia back in 2003 when his sister and brother-in-law started building a house out on timber, and that would be Bill and Paula Hansen. So my reason for selecting Chuck tonight is Chuck is a guy who has spent countless hours. If you have ever driven out by the golf course, you probably most likely have seen Chuck's truck sitting out at the golf course. And Chuck has spent many, many hours helping in the restoration of the golf course. He actually worked way back when Nick owned it, and Ryan and Amy have it now. And he's been out there helping quite diligently. In fact, I haul by there quite often, and I see Chuck's truck there quite regularly, and helping get the golf course back up. And I'm excited about that, because I think it's going to be a big asset for Vernonia to get that golf course up and running. Because I think some of us can probably remember, I know I can remember back when I was a kid, that golf course was a busy place. In fact, it got so busy that they added on to the parking across the highway just so there was enough room for everybody to park. So anyway, I want to recognize Chuck. Chuck, if you'd come up, I got a little certificate I'd like to give you. And when I see people put in extra time and work hard, I think there needs to be recognition. And so I'd like to recognize you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Can I get a picture of you guys together? There you go. Yeah, hold it. Get it out.
Four.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chuck.
Thank you. And nice, everybody here, and I know several of you, and I see your husband at the. I see you at the market. And I know the other gentleman there who's helped me with the project up at my home. Of course, his family has helped me immensely, and now I see Jared out there, and of course Stephanie, she's been wonderful at the counter, helping me with my home projects and getting permits. And Josette helped, and I came in one day and I said, "Are you new here?" And later I found out you weren't quite new.
No.
I didn't quite stick it all the way in, but so I appreciate everybody's help. And so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chuck.
Congratulations. Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you, Rick.
You bet. How long have you lived in Vernonia?
Going on 7 years.
Oh, good. Well, welcome. Okay. Thank you, Dennis. Any presentations tonight? Counselor committee meeting reports. Go ahead.
The library met.
Yep.
I'm just trying to get caught up with everything, and they're gonna meet probably every quarter now instead of every 2 months.
Okay. You see, we have some board meeting minutes to,
Yes, that was from September.
okay, good. Any other committees? Okay. Thank you, Donald. Cassetta, or any topics from the floor tonight?
I have two.
Okay.
It's Adam Strathby.
Go ahead.
Sir, you could come forward to the little podium here and you could just state your name. You don't have to say your address anymore, so.
My name is Adam Strathby. Jim, just get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I bought some property here, not this past summer, but the summer before. I have a request concerning right of way for the land that I bought. Do you mind if I approach? Show you?
He's gonna hand you something.
Sure.
So this is a map of the
Okay.
property. This is my property here. There's some additional ones here. So the lesser issue is that there's a parking concern that it's a right of way. It's a dead end. It's overgrown. It only goes to my property and it's supposed to go through to Maple Street. So I park there. I've paid to improve that road. I've done at least one load of gravel and then an additional gravel to improve it. So building and planning said that the road needs to be improved for fire truck access. They told me that I cannot build on it until a legitimate road system is put in. I understand that. But right now, I'm going to get fined for parking vehicles on this right of way, but it's been overgrown and soupy and gross for a while now. So I've paid to improve it. Again, it only goes to my property. So I'm getting conflicting information of that. It needs a road system and that fire trucks can get in there. There's no structures back there. They have access from Maple. For many years, I was fire, EMT, EMS. I was a truck engineer, like I drove the trucks. The whole thing with that is the trucks can get anywhere by design, like that's what they're made for. I went to Chief Brody and showed him this, and he said it's a non-issue. So I just don't want to get fined for parking on a dead-end road that only goes to my property when I'm paying to improve that alleyway. So I guess what I'm requesting, I wanted to respectfully request that parking is allowed there since it's a dead end. It's overgrown. Fire trucks don't need to get through there. And I also wanted to request that the land we could do a vacate or vacation on the land. Nobody owns it. It was explained to me that it's not owned by Vernonia, it's not owned by me, it's not owned by the neighbors, it's owned by humanity. So to me, to get fined for parking in a dead end that only goes to my property seems kind of silly, I guess, but
Can I ask a couple clarifying questions?
Yeah.
So the fines are through code enforcement for parking, blocking, basically, it's the road that goes from Cougar to Maple, and you're parking the full width of it. You're not parking along one side of it. Is that the problem? Okay.
So your name's Adam?
yes.
Okay, Adam, generally when you come before city council in this format, this audience participation, we cannot make a decision on your request at the time, but we could sure refer you to staff. And so that's what I would do tonight, Adam, but thank you for bringing this toward to us.
I do have just one question. Is this a planning? Should this go before planning rather?
Planning is the one that says it needs to be improved roadway. And currently, it's just a connector between Maple and Cougar. There is buildable property on the other side of it, opposite of his property. And so that's why we couldn't probably let it not ever be a road or not move in that direction, because there is buildable land across. But yeah, I can call him and we can sit down and talk about the options. And like what can be done readily and what probably can't be done readily.
Yes. So I was looking at building on it. It's explained to me that I would be on the hook for a road system to be put in for fire truck access or whatever else, upwards of $80,000 before I can do anything else on property.
Yeah, so I don't know the numbers. You would be required to do frontage improvements, but there is the opportunity to do a reimbursement district. So should the property across the street get developed, you would be recouped what you put in that would have been shared should you've been building at the same time. But I can give you a call and we can sit down and talk through all of that.
I understand that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
With that, with the floods and recent events, that's kind of like a lake over there. So we've had developers come in and look at it and it's not great. And failing all else, I can provide sugar and bribery stuff and put that table.
Thank you.
And the other pieces of it.
Thanks.
And we had one more.
Yes, Steve Weller.
Steve Weller, and I just want to bring it to the council's attention. Some of you may or may not have heard of this. I think Josette and I spoke about it a little bit, but I think it's worthy of you having some ears to the ground. I know that Sergeant Carnahan and myself have spoke, as well as Chief Brody, and I know pretty much what's going to happen with our district and the direction we're going to go. But I was made aware of the fact that Columbia County Road Department is considering and looking at the potential of removing all of their staffing from Vernonia, Clascana, and Rainy Road Department offices to more adequately, according to Commissioner Magruder, to more adequately work the pennies and the dollars to pay the bills. Now, having been in business for a long time in heavy equipment, I question that, because if you have to bring all of your staffing from St. Helens and bring it out to the rural areas to provide work and coverage, how is that going to work and how are you going to save money? Because what I see is staff and crew that has presently comes to this area at their own dime, on their own expense, out of their own vehicles. But if they come from St. Helens, they're going to be on the taxpayer's dime coming over here. Plus they have the long delay of being able to get. As you all know, we didn't get hit as bad with that last windstorm. And when I came home Saturday evening and I came through the town of Detroit, I thought, man, these people have been hammered. It looks like the Columbus Day storm through there. I'm being very honest. It's amazing. And I know that if we had a major windstorm or a major snowstorm event, the chances of us getting immediate help in the area would not be good. I know in speaking to Chief Brody, he's concerned to the level that he's taken it to the County Fire Defense Board, and they'll be probably forming a resolution to discourage it, because as we all know, you get out here, you have an emergency, a medical emergency, you got a downed tree or two and they can't get to it, and you got power lines into it. Nothing can happen until the county and the PUD get there together. So it's important for you guys to know. If you haven't heard it, I can tell you I have a recorded message from Commissioner Magruder and some information on it, but I would behoove you as a council to look into it and offer your concerns. So thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, it's the first I've heard about it.
How often does that council meet?
Yeah.
How often does that
The commission,
council? The commission.
Every Wednesday.
every Wednesday.
Okay, consent agenda for acceptance, library board meeting minutes for September 2025.
I move to approve the consent agenda for acceptance.
So moved. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Counselor Weller. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carried. Moving right into consent agenda for approval, city council meeting minutes for December 1st, 2025.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, so moved. Second. Seconded by Counselor Norman. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Any unfinished business tonight? Okay, new business, staff report, donation policy. Page 6 and 7.
Staff report brought to you by me. You guys had requested a donation policy. This has happened a couple times over the last few years where people come in asking for donations, typically toward the community event. But as there's really no policy, it's kind of awkward for you guys to review it. So I reached out to my peers, other cities, and received what I thought was a pretty solid example. I cleaned it up a little bit to service, and then I'm bringing it forward to you. If you are in agreement, I will bring it back at the next meeting for formal adoption with the resolution. So it'll be an adopted policy.
Okay, any questions for staff? Any comments, discussions?
Well,
Go ahead, Dale.
yeah, I like that staff brought us this resolution forward. I mean, the one thing for council is we're gonna need to set up some money. I mean, that's gonna be the crux of it there. We have donated small amounts, so Angie's here, but probably would just be a line item we'd put in the budget for potential donation. So that would probably need to go with it and put a dollar amount to it through the budget process.
Yeah.
Hopefully someday when our timber gets going, we can maybe be part of that annual funding chunk that will derive out of our resources.
So we're not looking for a motion on the resolution tonight. We're looking for a general consensus for staff to bring us back a resolution for this donation policy. So if I can get a general consensus from council, we'll address that to staff. And thumbs up or in favor?
I generally, I think it's very timely, and I think it's important to have this in place before the requests, the usual requests come in. There are a couple of things I think might be missing in here as far as potential use of what it cannot be used for. And with permission, I will get a copy of what I've experienced in the past as to the do's and don'ts. You can't have anything political, and you can't have anything that's for certain things. So if you want, I can provide you a copy of that. And
Council in agreement?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind
Okay, perfect.
seeing some,
Yeah,
but
thank you, Susan.
you're welcome. I'll add it to my list.
just a question, just a trial run. So how would the fireworks fit this?
They're a nonprofit and it's for.
They do, they're a nonprofit
Yeah.
corporation.
Run through one of the festivals, maybe?
It's the festival.
Yeah.
Agricultural Society does the Great American Bash, and they're a 501c3. And it's community, for the community, without
In Habitat for Humanity, they would fit this bill. I was just looking at the different examples in my head, the dangerous thing, I know, but just how it fits, before we get to the situation and go, oh, we didn't think of this, but I guess that's inevitable in most things.
Yeah.
Well, you have my approval to bring us a resolution next meeting.
Well, we probably need an updated one and then make a resolution later.
We'll update it, bring it with a resolution number. If you guys like it, we adopt it. If you don't, you scratch some things out and maybe still adopt it.
There you go.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Very much.
So business from the departments, police department update.
My apologies for not having a staff report today. Being in the holidays and people taking vacation at Columbia County 911, I wasn't able to get the year-end stats or the stats for December. But I would like to take a second and gratitude Chief Brody and the board for unanimously donating their tactical gear that the previous chief had bought and didn't use to the police department. So appreciate that.
Okay. Any other questions for the sergeant at this time? Thank you, Sergeant. Okay, ordinances and resolutions. Resolution 2026-01, adopting an updated employee handbook.
Sure you guys had plenty of opportunity to read the entire thing. I'm sure you did.
Most of it.
After reading that, I'm thinking, man, I'm glad I'm self-employed.
Yeah.
I understand the increase of work hours for city benefits from 20 to 32. But I just could you clarify a little bit on the on-call phone for me?
Yeah, so mid-year last year, we implemented an on-call phone for the public works guys. That's a phone specifically for CCOM to call, because before it was, they would just run down the list. And so it was, in order of Jeff would get the first call every single time. And if he wasn't on that weekend, then they would skip to the next. And it was just kind of, it didn't work very well. It wasn't very organized. So we have a phone that's just for the person who's on call.
Oh, okay.
And they take turns throughout the week. And then that person carries that phone. So that's the phone that gets the call after hours for emergencies or whatever. So it's been working out really well.
Good.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a handbook?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They'll get an updated one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Good. Any other comments or questions about the handbook? So we're looking at a motion to accept resolution 2026-01.
Is that you?
Mayor? What's that?
Is that you?
Yeah, that'll be me, I guess, or whatever. I'll move to adopt resolution number 2026-01, resolution adopting a new personnel policies handbook and rescinding resolution 2022-02.
Very good. Motion made. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Counselor Wagner. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carried. Very good. Thanks for the work on that. Okay, correspondence. Hold the date, February 5th, 2026. City County Dinner in Clascoy. Everyone get an email on that? No.
Barring ice and snow, I will be there.
Yeah. Me too. I will take one guest. So. Okay, city administrator report.
Okay, so no news on the decommissioning of the old dump yet. The ODOT ADA project, everyone's probably noticed that Brown's up in the Missouri, Lakeview Drive, Highway 47, Texas area. So they were working on that a little bit while school was out. Now they're on the Lakeview side. So it's tight in the mornings, but it seemed to have gone pretty good. I know police were out there, seemed to go pretty good. People are going slow and adjusting to the new lanes. We have our meeting upcoming tomorrow. We did come up with kind of a task list of still undone things. We have some holes up on bridge where the new pavement is, and there's kind of some voids behind it that need to be filled. There's still kind of an ankle breaker at the lid across in front of Creatures where the pavers go down, and there's about a 3-inch drop off the side of the sidewalk, which isn't going to work for us. And then we had another, during the stormy time, we noticed that the water from the highway was coming in the ramp right by City Hall and going out the other ramp onto Weed. That can't work. So I sent him a video, and hopefully we're going to talk about all of that tomorrow at our meeting. The Spencer Park cameras, so electricity, we did do the locate. The staff person that's installing the pole has been still on vacation. And so once weather permits, we'll install that pole that we ordered and we have in hand, and put the conduit in, and then the electrician will come and we'll install the cameras at the pole by the skate park. The SDC study, my goal is still for it to go out tomorrow. I was hoping to have it go out before I left for the holiday, but Ruben went to Mexico. So what do you do? So tomorrow will be the posting date for that, and that would put the bid closing on February 6th. And then the project outlines a completion of the study to be May 6th. And then we did get all the contract paperwork for the SIP grant, which is the feasibility study for the water intake. And so we completed that contract paperwork and now Robert can start working on that. Do you guys have any questions for me?
What's the estimated time on that study for the water intake?
What did we get, 4 months? I think we did 4 months, was like 120 days or something. I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on for sure what we said.
So is it kind of a target to address it this summer then? Is that kind of the,
I don't know that the timing will work that way because to do in-water work, you have to basically have your application to them in the spring for your July, late July to 1st of September permitting to get in the water and work.
them meaning the Fish and Wildlife?
Yeah, so the feasibility study will say, hey, what's feasible here, right? Do we armor the bank? Do we find a new spot? Do we do something different with the intake? Then the actual project would be another money. This is kind of pre-planning, getting that design stuff done with someone else's money. And then we'll probably as you guys know, when we did the interagency big roundtable, we'll probably have to take a loan to do the construction part because we don't charge enough. As I told you, we don't charge enough to be unaffordable where we fall into the grant category. Our bill is too low compared to what the state believes is unaffordable. They would want us to raise our rates in lieu of getting grant money for like $30 lower than what they deem as unaffordable. I know. So we'll probably end up, knock on wood, maybe there is a grant out there, but it's most likely going to be a loan or money out of coffers that we have set aside for that kind of stuff in one of the facilities funds or something. This will help us detail it out so we're not wasting our money or loan money on what can we do.
I kind of like Jeff's idea.
His might not be legit to whoever the agency is, but
Save a lot of money.
that's true.
Josette, do you have getting back to the ADA ramps, do you have kind of a general idea when, I know your meeting's tomorrow with them, but do you kind of have an idea when they be done at month end?
They estimated the end of February.
Oh, the end of February.
Construction. That was the last time I talked to him. So that was probably in November that they said that when I pressed them. I don't know how they've kept on track with their timeline. So I'll ask again at our meeting tomorrow, but to get an updated date for that.
You know how?
You might keep this in the back of your mind, but when they're completely done and all pulled out of where they shop out of that parking area, do you think if there's any gravel left that they could really nice and smooth that
I
out?
talked about that
Oh, good.
as being putting a finishing layer, fixing
Yeah.
low spots, kind of getting it.
I mean, a lot of people have used it
Yeah.
and they,
And when it's-
they chuck holes in it. And so I'm glad you're on it. So that would be nice.
Do you have something else?
Do you know how many's left to do?
Oh, man. I thought there was 12 still left before the holiday. So maybe that's 10 now because they did Texas and they did the West Missouri. So they still have the other side of Texas, 2, 3, 4. They still have Cherry, 5. I think it's 10. But they have 3 that are all prepped and just need poured. So it's kind of hard to keep track of, how quick they get it done. But I'll ask.
They lucked out this winter because
Yeah.
we've had some mild winter and
Yeah,
they've covered their cement and they've been lucky.
yeah, they have.
Are they doing it at the lake too?
No, they have bollards there, but I don't think there's an intersection, so they do Spencer instead.
Yeah.
Spencer, yeah.
Next question, just for clarification, when you refer to this, Robert, in the study and the inlet for the water system, who's the Robert?
That's our engineer.
Oh, your engineer, okay.
And then I just put on the upcoming meetings and the 2 closures, and one in January and one in February.
Okay.
There is another meeting date next Monday. It's the priority work session.
Oh, I did forget that one. So it's what is the date, Steph? Give it to us.
The 12th.
12th. Okay. At
I won't
6,
be there.
6:30. They were at 6.
6:30, but I think it should be 6.
Yeah,
So everyone's okay, 12th at 6?
well, I won't be there, but that's the way.
We're just going to go over the list.
Yeah,
Give you guys
I'm
the,
having eye surgery.
and then I think, is this the one they were supposed to bring?
Yeah, so you'll bring or send, in your case, you can email me what you want me to bring forward, if there's anything you want added to the list that we've talked about.
Yeah.
And then we'll put together a list. Your homework will be to take it home, rank them 1 through
Whatever there is.
and then return them to me, and then I'll bring them forward to you guys to adopt at a council meeting. So it's mostly going to be homework, really.
Okay.
Put on your thinking caps.
Yeah, I already have a couple of things I'd like to put on, so.
So what's the time again?
6.
6.
Okay, any other questions for Josette? Go ahead, Joe.
So
Oh, just this one.
was one of the crossings over here going to be a lighted crossing?
No, the one at Cougar?
Yeah,
Or at, Cougar. No, it's not lighted.
okay. I think they talked to
We
the
had talked about it and then they didn't see the,
need.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what criteria would.
Yeah, and I think getting the electricity there were some hindrances to the cost for them to implement it in the project.
Okay, anything else for Josette? Well, thank you, Josette.
Sure.
Items from the mayor and council. Go ahead.
So this is not directly or even barely indirectly related to City of Vernonia. But those of you who may have known her, Claire Hall, who is a county commissioner for Lincoln County, passed away last night. She was truly a force of nature. She was extremely important as to affordable housing. She was part of the Housing Stability Council, which managed funds for affordable housing throughout the state, as well as homeless and low income. She was a pretty remarkable woman. And whether you honor persons who are different than other people, she was a trans woman. I think that it's important that we recognize and honor the fact that she was amazing and was a great role model for how we should do our business, county business, city business, and personal business. And I would just like to say that. So the whole coast had been involved in supporting her, and we're not that far from the coast. So just wanted to bring that up.
Anything else?
Yeah, I
Go
will
ahead.
not be at the meeting, which will be Tuesday, the 20th. Is that correct? Because of Martin Luther.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Anything else?
Yes.
Go ahead, Don.
Hope I don't jinx us,
Okay.
but there's a street light working down by the Lusby building.
Oh, really?
So I don't know if it got fixed or if it just decided to work. Like I say, I don't want to jinx us because it's been out for so long.
Well, let's give it another month or so.
Well, the street light at the end of Spencer went out, so.
It did get some attention.
Perfect. It's been a while needed.
And driving in tonight, I looked down at the lake at the flagpole, and that's really awesome, the light on that, on American flag. It's pretty,
Yeah, and Mitch got a new flag and new beads to go on. So it's
you could see it
real
at a
vibrant.
distance. So it's pretty nice. So. Okay, if there's nothing else, we'll move right into action item summary.
Okay, so staff's going to bring you back the resolution for adopting the donation policy to the future meeting. And then I'm going to connect with the owner about the Maple Street Road and options there. That's what I have.
Okay. All right, well, thank you for attending tonight and law enforcement, you're doing a great job. I'm sure you're up at the schools. I hear you're up at the schools a lot. I don't get to see anymore in the mornings, but you guys are doing a good job. So with that being said,
Well, I was going to ask Sean how come he didn't get in on the rodeo today up at the school?
I'm here. When was the rodeo? Because I didn't know
The
anything.
deer in the net again,
Oh, no.
oh no.
That was a risk and to remove it.
the buck. Yeah, I seen Brody come by and
Again, for the.
lights on and headed into school and I was like, what's going on?
Oh, so
And he posted that video later.
now we know who to call. when we have a deer call.
Is it even not baseball season?
I'll adjourn this meeting at 7:11. Meeting